I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
Razaban IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. We're here in Box Park, South London, Croydon. With me, Spencer, Oliver. Spencer, fresh off your trip from Paris. How are we doing?
Yeah, really well, mate, really well. Yeah, congratulations to Dan Aziz, who grinded out a good performance to win the European light heavyweight champion out in Paris. And now we're here for Joshua Buatsi's press conference, signing up with Boxer, another light heavyweight. So now Boxer have got the WBA #1 in Buatsi, WBA #2 in Dan Aziz. What a fight that would be, by the way. Put the friendship aside, business first. That would be a great fight. But yeah, we're here at the Box Park in Croydon for Buatsi's announcement of his new signing with Boxer and Sky Sports Boxing, which is exciting, man. He's an exciting talent, Buatsi. Been a bit of a stop-start career for him. Great win last time out against Craig Richards, grinded it out. Craig's, as we know, is a world-class operator. And now he needs to build on that, you know, and try and capture a world title possibly this year.
Are you surprised Joshua Buatsi left Matchroom and Eddie Hearn? He's been with them from day dot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of it. I don't know, you know, I've not spoken to Buatsi about it, so I don't know how happy or unhappy he was with what was going on. I know he's been a bit inactive over the last couple of years, and perhaps he felt he wasn't getting the opportunities that he should be getting. You know, Matchroom are also tied up with Dimitri Bivol, and you know, and they've got the Canelo bit there as well. So perhaps he felt he was maybe second best, and he wanted a fresh start. Who knows? I mean, I don't really know, like I say, the ins and outs of it, but he gets a fresh start with Boxer now. I think it's a good move.
Eddie Hearn has come out and said that we have offered Joshua Buatsi £1 million or dollars, whatever currency, to fight Dimitri Bivol, and he turned it down.
Yeah, he probably felt it was worth more than that. You know, we know that Bivol's not just the best light heavyweight in the world, but light heavyweight division is stacked at the moment. Very difficult division, but it's not just probably the best in the division, but he's probably one of the best in the world, pound for pound. So he may have felt that he was getting undervalued there. Who knows, mate?
Also, Frank Warrington interviewed IFL yesterday, and even Frank said, you know, we offered Joshua the Anthony Yard fight, which is probably one of the biggest domestic fights that could happen outside of the heavyweights. And again, he wasn't interested, and he was going to sign with Boxer.
Yeah, well, there you go. Let's see now where Boxer takes him, because he's the WBA #1. Look, he's going to have to take those fights. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you look at just in this country, like, you know, the Craig Richards fight, the one that he was last involved in last May, was a tough fight. He grinded out a victory there. Then, like you say, you got Anthony Yard, who's just coming off that loss to Turbiev, but that was a great performance he put in there, you know, and he showed that he belongs at world class. What a great fight that would be with Buatsi and Yard. I think Buatsi's route is he wants to win a world title before taking those guys on, you know, so we'll have to see what happens with Bivol at the moment and Turbiev, you know, holding all the titles. Let's see what happens with those two, you know. Let's see what happens with Dimitri Bivol, where he chooses to go. Will the titles become fragmented? Will one of them become vacant? Or, you know, will Buatsi have to fight one of those guys? You know, they are two of the leading fighters in the world, though, pound for pound, aren't they? But Turbiev, tough guy, he proved that last time against Yard, and also Bivol, we've seen how good he is, you know, the manner that he dealt with Canelo, where he dealt with him with ease. No one expected that. He proved his class there. So, yeah, let's just see what happens, man. But Buatsi needs to possibly box for a world title sometime this year, I would say. You know, he needs to, yeah, he's there or thereabouts.
Is the key for Buatsi staying active? Oh, we've seen over the last couple of years, I know there's been injuries and fights haven't happened, but it seems like we haven't seen him fight for a long time.
Yeah, inconsistency is not good for any fighter, and at this stage of Buatsi's career, he needs to stay active. Do you know what I mean? I think he had, like, you know, like couple of fights in 2019, fight in 2020, fight in 2021. It's not enough. Do you know what I'm saying? He needs like 3 or 4 fights a year to prepare himself, because, like I say, like, if you look at the light heavyweight division and the rulers of that division, they're unbelievable, man. They're pound for pound stars. You can't go into those fights with inactivity. You have to stay active, and so that's where that's what I'm saying. My good mate just walked in there, Spenny boy. I love Spencer Fearon, by the way.
We're in his ends. We're in his.
Mate, I feel safe now. You know, I was feeling a little bit jittery here because when you cross the water, yeah, I'm from North, and like when you cross the water to the South, you need a little bit of backup. But thankfully, Spencer's just walked in, so I feel better now.
Spencer, jump in this clip. Spencer, fair on. How we doing?
My brother Spencer Oliver, my brother, man.
Yeah.
How you doing, man?
Both the Spencers in town.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Do you know what? People don't know a lot about me and Spencer and our relationship. You know, we go right back. We were actually boxing together in the 90s, trained in the same gym together in the 90s, Charlie Magri's gym. Yeah, so, yeah, we go back a long, long way. And, you know, it's like boxing's such a close-knit community. You see so many people come and so many go. Spencer's one of the very, very few old school that's still around, man. So testament to himself.
Calm down, I'm not that old, mate. Yeah. Nah, you know what? It was 98 when Spencer Oliver got injured. And I remember it was me and Danny Williams who was at his hospital bed.
Yeah.
And I was with Spencer's late father, God rest his soul, you know what I mean, in paradise. And like we was there with him, and then he come out in the coma, and to see like Spencer grow. And the only reason why, because everybody came around my house because they heard, boxer Spencer got injured. Everyone thought it was me. You know what I mean? I said, he's a bantamweight, super bantamweight. You know what I mean? And I'm tall when I'm a light middleweight, but you know what I mean? But yeah, everyone came around, so I went around there, and like me and Spencer been tight for donkeys. Spencer Oliver was the person that made me realise what real training was. I remember coming in, he used to come down Charlie Mag. Sorry to change it over to something else, right? Spencer Oliver would come in and he would train, right? And he would do a lot of sparring with Dean Piffy, right? Dean Piffy was a very good super featherweight, right? And they would train and he would spar, and then after finishing sparring, he'd do like 100 rounds on the pads with his old man. And we were looking like, right, we don't train, you know. This guy should train really hard. Anyway, that's enough of me jumping. I'll do a bit later, man. Cool, man.
Spencer, we'll catch up with you later. Thank you. Spencer, just going back to Joshua Buatsi, I spoke to Virgil Hunter in Paris on the weekend. I said, is he ready for Bivol? Because I read comments to say that Virgil said that Buatsi wasn't ready for Bivol. And he said, no, I didn't say he wasn't ready for Bivol. I said, I would like to see him have another couple of fights before he gets a ring with someone like Dimitri Bivol.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. You can't go into a fight with Dimitri Bivol with inactivity. Like I say, if you look at the performance against Craig Richards, he done really well. Richards is a world-class operator, and he grinded out a victory, unanimous points to victory. I think it was like 115, 113, 116, 112, which tells you it was a tough fight, right? But you need to build on that. That was back in May. We're now at the end, you know, the middle of March, and he hasn't boxed since then. Like, you can't go into a fight like that with Bivol without activity. So that's why he's not making the moves that he should be. If he gets offered those fights, he's going to say, listen, I've not been active enough. I'm not going to go in there. You know, like he's an undefeated prospect, 16-0, 13 KOs. He wants to do it on his terms when the time's right. That's why I'm saying he needs like a couple of fights, then boom, put him in. But he needs that activity, do you know what I'm saying?
Just moving away from this, Spencer, we've seen a lot back and forth between Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury this week. Some of it's been funny, some of it's been serious. He made a few comments about your mate Simon Jordan.
Yeah.
I'm sure you saw that. What have you made of it all?
Mate, it was a classic because what happened is Fury tagged Simon Cowell and not Simon Jordan, and it was trending on #1 trending on Twitter, which is brilliant. And me and Simon done a show yesterday actually, and we had a good laugh about it because Simon is a Fury fan. I'll tell you that now, right? But what he was saying was, like, cut all the bullshit. Let's just get this fight over the line. By the way, this fight is happening April the 29th. We're getting that fight. That fight is a done deal, mate. I'm pretty sure of that. You know, speaking to certain parties, I'm pretty sure that we have got this over the line. So I think there's just been a lot of back and forth, and maybe promoting the fight, you know, self-promotion now is a good thing. And Fury's, you know, he's an unpredictable character that says whatever he's going to say. But yeah, that Simon Jordan thing that he'd done and mugging Simon off and then calling him Simon Cowell. Did he tag Simon Cowell? Was that a stroke of genius, by the way? Because that was trending everywhere. But it created a lot of it created a lot of interest. So look. Yeah, like I say, Simon Jordan is a fan of Fury's. I think him and everybody else, it's just a frustration. Are we getting this fight? Are we not getting it? We've been waiting for an undisputed fight since 1999. You know, you go back to Lewis Holyfield. But what was the last time we had an undisputed heavyweight champion? That's how rarely they come around. So we want to see it, man. And we're so lucky now that it's not in Saudi, where they all fucking go and end up now because of the money side of things, and we're getting it at Wembley, man, in the capital. That'll be wicked. So yeah, I'm confident that we're going to get it April 29th and let's see it.
Was Simon Jordan right though about what he said regarding Tyson Fury?
Well, just saying that he was. Look, Simon's always said that. Look, he is the #1 heavyweight, pound for pound, right now, no doubt about that. But he's also very unpredictable, and don't try and outprice yourself. But it was genius by Fury if you think about it, because he's ended up getting 70% of the purse. I mean, when they were having these negotiations, I thought 60-40 split, winner 60, loser takes 40. I thought that's a fair deal. Fury and Frank Warren and whatnot, genius. They've got 70% of the splits, and there's no rematch clause in it as well. So he's done the right thing, Fury. But I think that Simon Jordan was just really he was frustrated as the rest of us, because we're going, come on, you're making yourself look like you don't want to fight. But actually now when we look at it, you go, fuck me, that was a genius move, because he's got all the cards now, hasn't he? He's like, you know what I mean? He's got it at Wembley. He's getting 70% of the purse, no rematch clause. What more do you want?
From Team Usyk's perspective, Alex Krasiuk, his manager, has clearly said if this fight doesn't happen on April 29th, it will not be a 70-30 split. Are they trying to seek advantage? Because we know, and they've told us, is that Usyk has been in camp since December, whereas Tyson has just started camp. Are they seeing a little advantage there possibly?
Yeah, listen, Tyson will be ticking over, mate. Don't worry. Tyson is Tyson can do 12 rounds standing on his head. He's got that experience, mate. He's been ticking over. There's a lot of mind games going on at the moment, and if the fight's not being signed, we want 50-50. I think it's just all promotion, if I'm totally honest. I think that we get the fight on April the 29th. Hotels have been booked. Stadium's been booked. You know what I mean? Contracts will be signed, I think, in the next couple of days. So I'm confident about that, mate. I really am. And there's just a lot of back and forth at the moment. I don't read too much into it. Speaking to certain parties, people that really matter, I'm confident this fight's going to happen.
Just obviously, finally, Kell Brook did an interview yesterday. Not sure if you saw it on Boxing King Media, where he's back training, feeling the mojo again, and said he's willing to come out of retirement to fight Conor Benn. Yeah. Just your immediate reaction to that?
Yeah, I think it's going to happen, mate, if I'm totally honest. Look, Conor Benn, we know it's going to happen. Whatever issues he's got at the moment or whatever, we know he's going to be fighting Abu Dhabi in June. Is it Manny Pacquiao or is it Kell Brook? My feeling is it'll probably be Kell Brook. Kell knows, Kell's obviously spoke to Eddie. I've seen him out training again. I like Kell, he's had his recent problems outside of the rings, trying to cope, trying to find direction in life, really, after boxing. And I'm a big fan of Kell Brook, and what he's been through recently has been tough. I'd like to see him back in the ring. So so be it. If it's Conor Benn, it's Conor Benn. But yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
Spence, I think the press conference is about to start any second. So yeah, appreciate a little bit of your time. Good to see you again, and and let's catch up soon.
Look forward to it.
Spence Oliver, IFL TV. Thank you very much.
Refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt rings.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,